It's Monday morning. You've just been appointed to the role as Treaty United manager for the Women's Premier Division for next season and into the future. You must be absolutely thrilled to be announced as the new manager.
Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted. Over the moon. It's been a big ambition of mine, something I've been working really hard for and towards the last few years. So it's a proud moment.
It's a big news for yourself personally, but also the club. It's not just a one-year deal. There's going to be continuity here. A lot of fans would have said Treaty have changed manager quite a number of times since they've become a club in 2020. So that's obviously very good for you personally, that there's a long-term plan and you're central to it.
Yeah, 100%. It's the project and the ambition of the club is something that has really pulled me towards it, and I see the potential. The women's game here it's only growing, and within our club there's a lot of really good youth. There's a lot of potential amongst all ages below the senior women's, and particularly even with the current crop. So it's an exciting time, and it's that project that I'm delighted to be a part of.
A different club name, but you're very familiar to Limerick. You're here almost a decade. Your dad managed, of course, Limerick FC in the past. You've carried on the family tradition. Was it always your ambition to follow in your dad's footsteps and become a League of Ireland coach?
Yeah, I think naturally, I suppose for footballers, when they play, they probably have to start thinking about that towards the end of the career. My career was probably cut short, but I think once I stopped playing and started that coaching pathway, I kind of found it was probably something that I've enjoyed more than playing, and something I'm really passionate about. So there wasn't much to think about. It was just it was getting on that pathway, and I've really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the hard work, and it's something that I've worked hard towards, and I'm delighted to be in the position I am now, having worked those previous years.
And we've spoken about previous work experience. You've taken on the mantle of a junior club. You then stepped up this year to League of Ireland under 17 level. Did you even see a big difference between junior football and academy football at League of Ireland level? Do you see the pathways that exist? But I suppose most importantly that it's always a step upwards that you're moving in.
Yeah, 100%. I think like anything, when you're committing to something, and something for me is when I do commit, I want to be 100% invested in that. And, I've been a part of different projects, and ultimately it's about what the goal of that project is. And, the goals and aims of maybe a junior soccer team are different to those of an under 17 academy team. And both I enjoyed a lot. And, I suppose the more recent one with the under 17s, it's, you're focusing on development, you're focusing on young players who want to improve. And, they're an exceptional bunch that we've had with the 17s, where they want the information, and it's a different type of challenge in getting that across to them, whereas maybe at senior level with the junior side it's more about winning. And fortunately enough I was in a position where we did do that and bring in silverware. But it's different targets and different aims when you're in these roles. But for me it's about what is that long-term project, and how do we walk towards it.
I imagine a lot of the girls that played for you this year with the under-17s now see the pathway for even you to step up as the senior manager. Their aspiration is to play with the senior team. But most importantly for you, you've got a glimpse of the future. Is the future bright with the local talent?
Yeah, I think so. I think it is. I think there's lots of young talent there, and I think there's lots of potential for all of them throughout the whole squad. And ultimately, it's about providing a strong senior team that they can come into and make that transition easy for them, and making sure that we've got good senior players who understand the league, who understand how we want to play the game, and we take the pressure off those young players coming in, because I think that transition period is so important, and the timing of when they do get those opportunities. So that's something that we're aware of. That's something that we want to do. That's something that we want to create is an environment for those players to go and have those opportunities, but at the right time for them as well as players.
A bit of pressure on you. There was a decent season by the women's senior team this year. Improvements all over, defensively, attacking wise, the points tally, finishing the season strongly. So Dom Foley did a really good stabilisation job. Is it about kicking it on now and being more competitive next year again?
Yeah, I think so. Well, I think, look, for me, it's more of a privilege than it is pressure. It's to be in a position of the head coach of the senior women's team for me is a huge privilege, and of course those roles come with a certain pressure, but it's I don't view it that way. I think we've worked hard to get to this point, and I think the appointment by the club, having worked here, and is confidence in what we do, and I think I'm confident that when we do get in, when we get to work, I think those results absolutely are something in the immediate that we strive towards, pushing on, developing from last season, and I'm confident that we have the recipe to do that.
Certainly the case. And I suppose for next year, it's hard to talk about ambitions yet, but it's a really good, I think, positive note for you that it's the middle of October. Your appointment is made now. It reduces any uncertainty among the players, among the backroom team. It's important that the appointment was made early, wasn't it? Because you can get the planning right away.
Yeah, I think so. Like, the earlier it is, the better chance you have to be organised and get that plan together. And it gives you that little bit of extra time. So it's an important factor for sure. And it means that we have we can get straight to work, and we have that little bit more time to be organised for, so we can hit the ground running come pre-season.
And if we sat here in 2 years' time and we looked out at the Marketsfield turf, what would define success for you in 2 years' time? Having said that, you've spent 24 months in the job, what would you see as being a really good return?
Yeah, look, I think when you look at it that way, like, we all have dreams and aspirations, and I'm very much the same. But I think ultimately, I think if we look 2 years ahead now, it's there's a lot of improvements that we can still make in the immediate. There's a lot of steps to developing that culture, to developing that philosophy, to developing the winning style, to transitioning the young players and creating that culture with those senior players and being competitive on the pitch. And ultimately, yeah, look, I think that if we do that in the day to day and we set those standards that we expect to set, I think we will be successful. I think that's a result of those actions on that day to day basis. So ultimately, yeah, look, we want to be competing. We want to be up there, challenging the best teams. We want to be going towards every game, looking to win every game. We want to strive towards silverware. But I'm also confident that when you do look ahead and you look too far ahead, you can lose sight of what's important in the immediate. So for us, it's very much setting high standards every single day, every single session, every single game, and that will result in positive actions, and we'll get to where we deserve to be.